Hello, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Oracle of Seasons and 80% Speedrun tutorial. After finishing up Dungeon 3, it is time to learn how to swim and get into the mountains on the way to Dungeon 4. So let's get started. If you still had a seed left, you can do an inventory here or on the stairs going towards the Essence Room to equip your seeds over your feather. You can jump over those stairs so you don't get slowed down. Over here, watch out for the rock. You can be in your way. So here you get your seed refill, so you can run it once more. You can run fast once more again. I like to wait over here using this seed so you can have a little bit of a boost at the end. Also, falling down the hill doesn't give you any speed boost, but it does lower your seed countdown. Over here, do a little jump so you can keep a little bit of that speed. So here is the bridge, which is unfinished. The switch over there fixes it, but we're not gonna do that. We can just jump over it. So I don't know what causes that. Oh well. Either way, it should be an easy jump normally. For some reason I failed it twice. And if you get eaten by the like, nothing happens, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you jump over these stairs. And you can equip the flute for Rikki, because this area is dependent on your companion, which you choose, and we have Rikki, so this is the mountainous area with a lot of hills. Make sure you can jump punch, because it's pretty useful here to destroy bushes and to destroy these boss blobs. The boss blobs can be really interesting because they can drop seeds. And in particular, you could really use an pegasus seed drop in this case. Unfortunately, those are out of the way, so you cannot kill them sometimes. Just depends on RNG if they are in your path or not. Look, pegasus seed drop. That's nice. Keep Rikki until after this screen, because those likes are gonna be in your way most of the time. And then you can run along, since running is faster than walking with Rikki. You have King Moblin. Hello, goodbye. I'm actually make a save state here. So this is Sunken City, and depending on your seed count, if you got a seed drop or not, your menus are gonna be a little bit different here. So if you actually get a seed drop, then you want to equip your feather and keep your seeds. And just roll with it. Make sure you jump over all the water. You can cut the corners a bit. And equip your sword to cut the warp seeds. Warp seeds, the gale seeds, are really useful in that they warp you to any... They can warp you to any previously visited tree, seed tree you visited, so that's also why we visited the Ember seed tree in the town earlier. If you haven't done that, then that's gonna be a problem later. If you add a seed drop, you can use another seed here. And go over here to save Dimitri, the Dodongo. Make sure you talk to the middle kid. He wants some bombs. So if you don't have bombs, they won't move. If you don't have bombs, sometimes these bushes contain bombs, but it's pretty rare. So you definitely want to make sure after Dungeon 2 that you have enough bombs. So you can talk to Dimitri. Dimitri is pretty simple, you can move. He moves pretty slow on land, but he can swim in the water, and he moves at a pretty decent pace. Pressing A uses a jump attack, and B allows you to jump off him. You can also pick him up with the bracelet, but it's not used in this run. You can clear this text box with B, because you cannot jump off while in the water. While with A you can do this jump attack, which slows you down a bit. So coming up here, you want to use your seed again. Oops. Push these together so you can hit them with a single spin slash. And equip your feather. You can jump over that water bit. And that's the master card. You have to deliver that to the guy in this other cave, the master diver. It's for text boxes. Wow, I missed it. So now you can swim as you saw before, but Dimitri is pretty fast in the water, so you want to take Dimitri on your way out. Wow, I actually dodged them. There's a pretty tight gap you can go through to avoid damage. Usually it doesn't work that way. So after you get here, you can go down here into this secret passage, and this is where the routes converge again. So let me actually load that save state again. So say you didn't get a seed drop, then you only use a seed here and you switch to feather and sword. That way you're gonna save 2 seeds out of 5 that you may have missed. Just make sure you keep cutting those corners. So this is the part where you wouldn't have a seed then. You would just move along. You can do a jump to avoid walking in the grass. And again, go back up. Since you have the feather and bracelet, the feather and sword right now, you have to do a few less equips, so that saves you a little bit of time. Again, you have to solve this puzzle. It goes the same way, except you don't have any pegasus seeds. You can start doing a jump and then slashing, so you don't get stuck on your spot for a bit. Slash that, 2 jumps, and open the chest. And you go back. If you have this equipped, you can slash that bush by slashing your sword and then doing a jump right afterwards. Make sure you slash your sword first and then jump, because otherwise you will just slash, you will just miss the bush. Like that. You have to press AB or BA depending on your equipment. If you have sword on A, you have sword on B. I'm gonna leave with Dimitri. Let's see if I can get 2 out of 2. Wow. Wow. Amazing. So you leave Dimitri here, do a little jump so you don't lose speed, and you can do your equipment here. So this is the other underwater section. You can swim a little bit faster with A. B, you can use your item. If you have your sword on B, you can use your sword. If you are at a decent pace, if you go too fast, you can hit this fish on the water on the bottom side. If you are at a decent pace, you can get over here when that fish is over there, and sometimes he can hit you and you get a little bit of a damage boost. You go a little bit faster, it saves a few frames, it's always nice. So once you get out, go over to these vines and start using your seeds again, so you can run across this section. Go up here, jump over the stairs so you don't get slowed down, and into the portal. So if you didn't get a seed drop, you don't want to use the seed here, otherwise go ahead. Make a nice jump to the left. Pretty funny. So these Subrosian brothers, they steal your rock shatter, and they give you this this ore chunk. It's pretty useless. It doesn't do damage to anything, I believe, so. Again, if you had a seed drop, you can use a seed here in this small section, or if you want to save it for later, that's also fine. In general, you should have enough seeds if you got a seed drop, so it's not worth not doing it anyway, so. Especially if you didn't have a seed drop, you want to be careful. So these are the Subrosian brothers, they hide and seek with you again. Just like Rosa on the way to Dungeon 2. Except these guys only have one pattern. in every screen they always do the same thing, so it's pretty easy to get into your safe spot so you don't get caught. Just look at the patterns a bit. It should be pretty easy to make sure you don't get caught. Also, you're gonna need the shovel later, so you can equip it and dig around here. Generally, it's not gonna help you a lot, because even though you can get a heart drop, so if you're low on health, you can get a heart drop. There's also these enemies, those fire towers. I don't actually know what they are called, but they shoot fireballs. So you gotta be careful with that and decide if it's worth the risk digging, looking for a heart or not. You can also dig up these ore chunks, but they aren't really used in the run, so... And digging is fun, so that's also an argument for digging. Like this one is gonna be in the way. Okay, you didn't shoot, that's fine. So this is the place where they buried your feather after you actually finished it. If you dig here before, it doesn't pick up anything, so now you got the feather. Because your cursor is still on the feather, because you unequipped the ore chunk here, you can actually do this inventory before your save and quit. Otherwise, your cursor goes back to the starting position at your first slot, and you have to move back over. So do that inventory before you save and quit here. Then you get back here, move back, use a seed if you got a seed drop. Actually, I got a seed drop. I have too many seeds. Now you can use your seed over here, get back to the right side, to this underground section. This underground section is pretty nice. You want to use the seed here because of this platform. If you don't use the seed here, this jump is terrible. You cannot get it first try unless you get really lucky. Over here, just jump over the lava. Shouldn't be too hard. If you got trouble with it, this may not be your game, I suppose. Just in the other temple there is a bit more lava that's more tight. Those jumps are tighter, so... Oh well. Again, make sure you don't accidentally use the seed here. So mash the opposite button. Then you get back at the start, go back. So up here, there's gonna be a pretty tricky jump. If you have seeds and stuff, if you want to go for it, go for it. This jump is pretty tight. So you want to jump at the edges of those platforms so you can actually make that jump. I'll show it again. I jumped a little bit too early on the platform there. If you miss it, you can just make it easily, so it should only fail once if you want to go for it. If you don't want to go for it, it's just going down here. I think you can make this jump without seeds, so let me check that for you. Yeah. Otherwise you can wait a little bit on the staircase in order for the platform to move down. Otherwise you do it like that. So after that, you come out of here, use the seeds, and you want to lift up this rock, preferably the top one, so you get the shortest path. This rock doesn't respawn after you move away, unlike other rocks in other areas. And this is used later for a shortcut to get back from the right side, which is actually, let me show you, that is the Subrosian area with Rosa, and before Dungeon 3 with the market. So after you do that, you go back, all the way back to your portal. Wow, my seed ran out. Glad I didn't fall in the lava. Oh yeah, and you would have this equipped out because I used an extra seed to get back. So once you get out of here, you want to equip Rod and Sword and change it to your newly acquired season, Spring. So in Spring, these flowers start to bloom. Normally they are rocks. And Moosh is here, but he was already, even in other seasons. So these flowers are pretty interesting. You can cut them with your sword. Sometimes they drop bombs, like that. And having bombs is pretty interesting because the kids took your bombs in Sunken City, so you would have 0 bombs. And you want at least 1 bomb in Dungeon 4, so I like to cut these two bushes, these two flowers also, and these two in order to get the most chances for a bomb on this first visit. So after that you get this blue cuckoo. You have to mash your bracelet in order to fly and get up the ledge. Then you get this room. You hold upright, you can make those first two jumps. Watch out for those keys, they can be in your way sometimes. If you are uncertain about those keys, you can always equip your sword over the bracelet, which would mean you would end up with this equip and you can still slash it. So after you get up here, you still want to get the sword, but in this case you can equip your rod also. Otherwise, just keep the feather and sword out. Again, you can cut extra bushes if you need to. Otherwise, just cut the ones that are in your way. And if that didn't give you a bomb drop, then you can use Moosh, the flying bear, in order to cut these two bushes, which also drop the bomb. That's pretty nice. So once you fly and hold the fly button, which is a jump, you can charge a... This timing is always awkward. Usually just wait until he starts flashing and makes this sound. You can do this butt punch in order to cut those two bushes and hopefully get another bomb. The reason why it's actually advised to do that if you don't have bombs is because it skips a text box later that introduces these butt pound technique, butt smash, butt pound, whatever you want to call it. So moving on, going to the left. Make sure you avoid the tech type, he can be in your way. So entering this screen, you want to leave Moosh for a little bit and go up this flower. Watch out for any enemies in your way. Wow, another bomb that I didn't get to grab. Oh well. And just leave straight away and continue on to the left. Entering this cave will set up a war point for a save quit. So this is the screen when you get in here, the tutorial plays for how to do the butt smash. And if you already did one, it doesn't prompt, so you can just move along. So you want to fly, you can mash your fly button in order to hover a little bit. Hover to the key, jump off. Excuse me. And grab the key. And then save and quit. This brings you back to this cave that we visited earlier. So here you have this moblin. This moblin is gonna be in your way a lot. So if you have your sword out, you can slash him and those like if they are in your way. Otherwise, you can just move along if you get lucky. Safety hearts. These bushes, if you need them. I didn't know this one. I think the flower ones aren't fixed, but the normal bushes are fixed heart spawns. So if you are like at 1 heart, 1.5 heart, you can grab those. And you can change the season to winter. Once it changes to winter, you can change your equips so you can have seeds and feather. If he's in your way, jump over him. Sometimes they can be in a bit annoying spot like that, so you cannot really dodge him. Again, use a seed here, so you can make those tricky jumps. Here you have a 2-gap jump for a really short gap. If you feel unsure about this jump, you can use a seed, but to make it a little bit easier, you want to be on this line, on the dividing line between 2 tiles. So those stairs are on 1 tile, and these tiles, the ground tiles, are 1 tile. So you want to be on the dividing line, which allows you to actually walk a little bit along the pits instead of falling straight at them. You can still make it a little bit if you are lucky, so you gotta be careful with that. So if you're having a lot of trouble, you want to make sure you get your positioning right. Once you get out here, equip the bracelet and the rod, because you have this cuckoo again to fly you over to the keyhole. A really nice waterfall, probably referred to Link's Awakening. When you jump down, this guy can be in your way sometimes. you can use the rod in order to knock him back, but if he's very peculiar in the way, like on these 2 tiles, let me actually kill this, I'm getting sick of him. Wow, there we go. If he's on one of these 2 tiles, he's gonna be in your way, and he's gonna knock you back over to this way, so then it's advised to just grab your feather and jump over him. But yeah, moving on, ice slide. I don't think I explained it before, sorry for that. Then you come over here, the dungeon is open so you can change it to summer, grab any extra hearts you need, and enter the dungeon. But we're not gonna enter the dungeon because this is the end of this episode, so thank you for watching.